Boom! We're live on YouTube and Facebook, and we're getting live on Instagram. Um, how's everybody doing today? We live right here? Yeah, we're live.
Live.
How much your water? Let me get my water.
Oh, I'm trying to steal my water again. How's everyone doing? Welcome on. I'm going to be talking a little bit about mindset and consistency today.
Mindset and consistency. You want to start off, babe? Yeah? No?
Go ahead. I have to use this thing.
Well, I feel like
every week I forget.
Mindset and consistency is kind of like one of those things we all inherently know to be really good, but oftentimes we have a hard time embracing. Like when it comes to my life, when it comes to bodybuilding, when it comes to nutrition, when it comes to ketogenic diet, when it comes to business, when it comes to everything, it all boils down to mindset and consistency. There's no secrets. I'm not the world's best bodybuilder. I'm not the biggest bodybuilder. I'm not the best businessman. I'm not the best at anything, but I'm pretty good at showing up every single freaking day without fail and putting in the work. And that's where my momentum comes from. Crystal's out here, Prego, and she hasn't wavered from getting her steps in, getting her workouts in, getting her nutrition on point. She hasn't deviated once from her diet while pregnant. And now we got a healthy growing baby boy because we're putting in the work, being consistent with it. And that's good. Anything else?
That's good. No, I do think that everyone kind of knows that motivation doesn't get you anywhere. It is consistency and dedication and determination and just choosing to show up every single freaking day. I think everyone knows that, but people have a hard time following through. So do you have tips and tricks of like how to find that? For me, I would say number one, just show up every single day. Literally show up every single day. And to what you said you were going to do, this is very in my weird lighting over there. Show up every single day when you're supposed to show up. If it's an off day scheduled, then schedule as an off day. But if you're supposed to show up at the gym, just do it. Just show up. And if you don't feel like it 10 or 15 minutes in, then maybe it's a day that you can take a day off, or maybe you go sit in the sauna for a little while, or maybe you go walk on the treadmill for a little bit or something like that. But show up for yourself. I think that is the biggest thing. Like actually do what you say you're going to do in the beginning. Like right now, I've been doing this little challenge thing with the Lady Savage group, like on Facebook. And last week we were walking 2 miles a day, every day for 5 days. This week it's 3 miles a day, every day for 5 days. Next week it'll be 4. The next week it'll be 5. And I will tell you what, it is already kicking my butt. But I'm going to stick to it. And if I get to the 5 miles, because if after the 5 miles, we continue on, I'm going to keep going for 5 miles until this little guy comes out. But if I get to the 5 miles and I finish that last week and I say, I can't consistently keep this up, then guess what? I'm going to go back down to 4 miles. And if that's not realistic, then I'm going to go back down to 3 miles. And I know I can consistently do 3. But, show up for yourself, follow through with what you say you're going to do, follow through with your word, and do what you say. And then if you get there, or if I get to 5 weeks and it seems unrealistic, then I'm going to go back down. But I'm not going to give up the journey that I've committed to doing with these ladies.
Bingo. Yeah, I think like when I was writing my book, which goes live on Sunday, by the way, it's hard. Like a lot of people talk about writer's block as like not having the creativity to write and get words on a page. For me, it's like, you know what? I'm committing to writing 500 words a day, no matter what, without fail. Even if the words are not good, at least I'm going to commit to hitting 500 words a day and building that momentum. And I did that. And oftentimes I'd be in a good flow state. I wouldn't start off that way, but I'd start writing. The first 500 words may be crap, but then I get my rhythm going. And then I wind up writing 1,500 words or, 3,000 words, and a lot of it is good. But I would do that every single day with this commitment of getting 500 words in, and now I've got a 450-page book. So it just, same is true with nutrition, same is true with staying on top of your ketogenic diet, not deviating from that because the grass looks green on the other side, just putting in the work, being consistent with it. And when it comes to the mindset around that, you have to look at what the end goal is. Like, be honest with yourself, have the self-awareness to know why you're doing this in the first place. If that reason is more compelling to you than that moment in time in which you want to deviate, then that's not really a good reason to deviate. For instance, like a lot of people, we'll just use nutrition as an example. A lot of people start the ketogenic diet because they want to lose body fat, they want to get healthy, they want to improve their metabolic health, improve their insulin sensitivity, whatever. If they're doing that with the end goal, but then they're sitting there across the table during Thanksgiving, there's a big old thing of pecan pie staring down, it's easy to deviate and grab that piece of pie and just go off the rails. But if you stop and ask yourself, okay, why am I doing this? And then why would I want that piece of pecan pie? And if at the end of the day, that reason doesn't outweigh the benefit of the long-term goal, then don't deviate from the plan. And then just be consistent with that and build up the right habits in place so you're less likely to deviate. Once you start getting the momentum built and you start seeing the progress and the success that you're looking for, that's super motivating and oftentimes far outweighs the temptation of that short-term high.
Yeah, I do also think fighting for yourself also has a little bit to do with it. Like say it is food and someone's giving you a hard time for not eating this, that, or the other. Robert and I don't have a hard time because we're like, we know what we're doing. We are making the right decision for us, and that's okay. And we will tell people that straight up, like, oh, you don't want any of this, pie or whatever it is. No, I'm good. I'm good. And if they continue to give you a hard time, they just say, I choose not to have that. Like, I would rather work on my health than have that piece of pie. And it's okay to say that. But a lot of people feel too bad to say that they end up giving in and letting what someone else thinks affect their mindset and the goals that they end up having. So I'd say, like, stand up for yourself and know those goals and stick to them and realize that those are important to you. If they're important enough, you will fight for them.
Yeah.
Let's get to some questions over here on Instagram.
Yeah, we need some YouTube and Facebook questions, y'all. Throw some stuff at us.
What's happening, savages?
What's up?
Determination beats motivation every day. Absolutely.
Totally agree there.
Prego Crystal's been killing in the gym. So motivating. No excuses. Thank you.
Was that my timer saying Instagram was up?
Yeah.
So I didn't even know you could do this. Crystal taught me how to do this, but you can put a timer on Instagram so that you can set any time you want, right?
Yeah, you can set it. I think it's 30 minutes, 45 minutes, an hour, 2 hours, or 3 hours that you can put it on you can put it on Insta. It is in Instagram where you can go into the settings and adjust you want a notification once you hit such point. So after we have hit a certain point of being on Instagram in the day, it'll pop up and say, you've been on Instagram too long.
Most people spend way too much time scrolling on their social platforms. So having that kind of as a safeguard to just bring it to top of mind. Hey, you've been on here too long, get off.
Yeah. I have also been just taking a step back from being so in it. It's so easy to get so in on social media and let those things just fill your mind, fill your thoughts, all of those things. So I've been trying to be very aware. And sometimes, since I've been trying to be aware, I will pick up my phone and I'll be, looking at my Aura ring or something like that on there. And then my finger will just go towards Instagram or go towards Facebook. And I'm like, what the stink are you doing? So immediately I exit out of it because I'm like, there's no reason I'm going on that right now. There's zero reason. I don't need to answer anyone right now. I don't need to, watch anything right now. I need to work or I need to go on this walk or I need to, whatever it is. But I've noticed that it has been a natural habit for me for I don't even know how long because I haven't paid attention to it, for me to just click the stinking button. So I've been actively not going on. And when I do, I only go to watch the specific people that are encouraging and motivating. And I love to watch their stuff. And it gives me good information, things like that. So I specifically go to their pages and then watch it and then maybe answer my DMs or answer my comments or, someone tags me in something, I'll go like it and comment on that. But I've been specifically not trying to go on there when I don't need to because it's just a waste of time.
Agreed. All right, we got something from Brian here. I've had a lot of success with keto in the past, and I'm looking to start back. What do you recommend from a macro standpoint to help combat? I've always had a hard time pronouncing this. Is it lethargy, and workouts? I mostly work out with kettlebells. All right, so if you're not keto adapted currently, you're going to have if you've been keto in the past, but you're not keto currently, you should have a pretty mild adaptation period because a lot of that machinery is built into your system having been keto in the past. So make sure you're getting enough sodium, potassium, and hydration, enough fluids in to kind of bridge the gap there. And then make sure you don't just cut fats. For whatever reason, a lot of people transition to keto and they remove all the carbohydrates. They leave protein very high, but then they don't fill that void left from the lack of carbohydrates with dietary fat. So their energy source is non-existent and they don't feel very good. So make sure you have enough dietary fat there. As far as like general macro recommendations, I don't know if you're in a building phase or a cutting phase, but I would probably recommend having, at least a 1-to-1. If you're kind of more in a building phase, you're trying to combat lethargy and workout. So probably training hard, training heavy. I'd probably do about a 1-to-1 1 gram protein per gram of fat. And then just make sure you're eating enough total calories. And that should be a pretty good starting place there.
Mm-hmm. And make sure, I think you said that, but electrolytes and water, make sure you stay on top of those. That'll help a lot with the being lethargic.
Yep.
Hey guys, you are both such an inspiration. Thank you.
Coach he says
Jim,
cutting.
Oh, Coach Jen said yes.
What's up, Coach Jim? In that regard, so I've got a very specific cutting protocol. Everybody's got a little bit different cutting protocol. What I like to do with all of my clients is I'll start them at a higher fat ratio, like 80% of their calories coming from fat. I'll slowly drop their fat while simultaneously increasing their protein in very small increments, like 5 or 10 gram increments, till I establish their protein threshold. Then I'll start dropping both protein and dietary fat. So that's kind of a super high level view of what my cutting protocol look like. But if you're in a healthy maintenance intake, you could start somewhere around there. And greetings from San Antonio. Thank you, man.
Coach Jen Winkler says the timer helps me greatly. Yep, it helps me a lot too. Not very many active people on here tonight.
I know. What's going on tonight? There's something going on Wednesday?
Today is Wednesday. No? I know.
Party going on somewhere.
Some party that everyone's at right now. We are gonna need some topics for
what's for dinner tonight? We can talk about that.
We're gonna need some topics for the next few weeks. And so if you guys have topics, just say like future topic and then write that and then we could do like a whole live on that. Tonight we're having like a lemon chicken with like capers and things like that.
Well, is it like on a bed of lettuce or no?
Bed of lettuce.
It's not the salad one. It's just like chicken.
Yeah.
All right. Sounds good. I'm hungry.
We can have it on like some with some broccoli or something.
That sounds good. I'm hungry. Well, we can make it a shorter live today because we got a meeting. I got to get a client plan knocked out still. By golly.
Hope you guys feel motivated and what was the other one?
Mindset and consistency.
And real consistent.
It's not motivated. It's just mindset.
Mindset. Wow. Yeah. I have pregnancy brain real bad, you guys. Yeah, it's really bad.
Yeah, I didn't know pregnancy brain was a thing, but it's a legitimate thing. She'll forgets things left and right.
Yes.
I don't forget anything ever.
I do all the time, like all the time now. It's fantastic.
Been loving your recipe videos. Please keep them coming.
Oh, yeah, good. I'm so glad.
Wesley, what's up, man? What big project you working on now? By the way, everybody should follow Wesley. He is a freaking extraordinaire when it comes to woodworking.
Extraordinaire.
Michael says, can you differentiate the benefits of coconut oil, cacao butter? Are there advantages one compared to the other? So coconut oil has got a lot of lauric acid compared to like MCT oil, for instance. MCT oil is high in caprylic acid, which is really fast absorbing. Lauric acid in coconut oil is great. There's some people that suggest this could be great from an immune system standpoint. That may be true. Cacao butter is really high in stearic acid. It's the highest source of stearic acid, more so than even beef suet. And cacao butter's got all kinds of benefits. One of which is that easy to digest, easily absorbed, doesn't really cause any GI distress. It's shelf stable. It's what the bricks are made out of. And there's some really compelling research that shows that cacao butter, or stearic acid specifically, makes the actual fat cell, the adipocyte, more insulin resistant. So we want to be insulin sensitive on a macro level. Like we want our bodies to be more insulin sensitive so that we don't store fat unnecessarily. But we want the actual fat cells themselves to be more insulin resistant so that they do not store additional adipose tissue. So I don't know if the jury's still out as to how much the stearic acid impacts the insulin sensitivity of fat cells, but pretty interesting stuff. Love you guys. Stay well. Likewise, man. Matt says, my new phone has a cool bedtime mode where the screen will turn black and white at 10 p.m.
Oh, that's smart.
Coconut oil versus cacao butter. Yeah, I figured.
Oh, that was probably a topic for next week.
How important is it to be dual fueled? Next week's question.
What do you mean dual fueled?
Probably metabolically flexible and tapping into carbs and fats, I would imagine.
Man, if that's important, then we're screwed.
Yeah, we don't really do too much dual fueling. I can touch on that real quick.
They're trying to give us topics for next week. I'm going to write it here in my little notes. I'm not trying to be rude.
All right, so dual fuel is one. How do you determine the protein threshold? It's going to be a little bit different for everybody. I don't know if that's a topic for next week, but it's a little bit different for everybody. Generally speaking, once you reach a point of diminishing returns with the protein intake, you're going to have more gastric distress, less mental clarity, more brain fog, probably a little bit more achiness in your joints, higher blood glucose, lower blood ketones. And there's a point at which you're like, if you've only got so many calories to work with and you're taking in more protein than is necessary, you're going to be taking it from your energy calories in either fat or carbohydrates if you're using carbs. So you don't necessarily want that either. And what would you recommend a limit to dairy fats, butter, and cheeses? And what would you recommend? And would you recommend a limit to dairy fats, butter, and cheeses?
For the next following weeks.
That one? Yeah. Listen to the podcast with Mark Bell. Our accents are similar. What's your take on his older carb nut approach? Do you set aside a day every now and then to eat carbs? I haven't had carbs in 7 years. It's been a long time for me. Crystal's been like, what, 6 years?
Yeah.
Carb Night Solution is actually a book by John Kiefer, who wrote Carbohydrate Backloading. That may be what you're talking about there, John Kiefer. But I never did the Carb Nights. I did the backloading, which is similar concept. But yeah, I don't do any carbs now. When was Mark Bell's podcast? So I've had him on my show once or twice now. And then he had me on his show, I don't know, about 6 months ago, probably. But well, I'll probably get back on here again soon. All right, ladies and gentlemen, did you get all that stuff down?
There was only 2.
All right, cool. All right, well, we love you, and we hope you have a wonderful, amazing day and the rest of your week. The book goes live this Sunday, so I'll send out a newsletter, post, and everything then, if you're interested. And yeah, all kinds of good things coming in the pipeline here, so we're excited about all kinds of good stuff. Y'all have a great one, and we'll talk soon. Ta-ta for now. Love you much.
See you later.